Let's have a real conversation. I'm curious if you're feeling the energies that are happening globally in this planet right now. So many of us are feeling the heaviness. We're weighed down. We feel overwhelmed. Things feel like they are speeding up at a crazy rate. We have chaos happening all around us. Things feel heavy, 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 heavy. And right now is a time that we really are being called upon as conscious, individualized expressions of spirit to pause and stop and go within and take a look at what is happening. What is truly creating this chaos around us? Because the truth of it is, we are a micro to the macro. And everything that we see happening in the 3D world around us in our physical world is absolutely 100% a direct result of what is happening internally within us. The turmoil, the emotion, the stress, the anguish, the pent-up fears. These are all things that we are holding inside this beautiful, magnificent vessel that we were gifted. And from inside, or a computer, if you will, even if you look at us as a computer, right? Whatever is inside of this computer is what's programming the reality out here around us. And I only know from my own experience that stopping and pausing and taking a look at this and going within and practicing certain tools and certain methods that we are able to lighten that load. And one of those tools that I absolutely believe to my core, and because from the core, the reason it's at my core from my very heart is because I have personally experienced the shift in my life that this has brought. And what it is forgiveness. It is the practice, or an art, if you will. I truly believe it's an art of forgiveness. Now, for me, when somebody would say forgiveness, just even a few years back, go back 5 or 6 years ago, and you would say the word forgiveness to me, and I was like, breaks, no, I'm going to pray for them, and I would pray for, the willingness to pray for them. But the forgiveness part, I don't know about all that. I felt almost completely frozen with fear. And it was about that time, through prayer and meditation and asking Spirit to help me feel better, help me let go of this. How do I move forward? And lots of forgiveness kept coming in. And so finally I was willing. I was asked, how do I do this? And it was at that time that Dr. Hugh Lin was introduced into my world and the work that he did. And the work that he did was in a mental facility in Hawaiian Islands that was a really pretty bad facility. The employees, the people that were being housed there, it was just known as a very not good place to be. And he was asked to come in and to do some work. And so he was willing to do that. He came in and he never even met with one patient or one employee. All he would do is come in, go straight to his office, and he would sit with the files and he would pull everyone's file one at a time, and he would do prayer work. And that prayer work was Ho'oponopono. And what Ho'oponopono is the idea of, first off, really embracing our oneness and understanding exactly what I was just talking about, that everything happening around us is a direct result of something happening within us. And that if something is coming into our field, it doesn't necessarily mean we are responsible for the action out here in this 3D world, but we are responsible. Something within us is creating that experience in our energy field. And through that place of oneness, when we understand that, us becoming willing to introduce the idea of forgiveness, of understanding that through forgiving ourselves for whatever it is that is attracting that energy into ourselves, we allow that melting away or the forgiveness to come into the situation and for healing to happen. And so that's exactly what happened for Dr. Hewlin as he practiced over this within a couple of years. That facility completely turned around, transformed. It's a beautiful place compared to what it was. The employees, people want to be there and work there. There's different programs and things set into place. And again, Dr. Hewlin didn't do any of that. None of that. He had zero hands on any of that. It all just naturally transpired through allowing the energy of forgiveness into that place and space and time. And that's what Ho'oponopono is. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. And I started with little things. I did. I just started with little things. I even started with things outside of self, just being out, driving, and somebody cut me off in line, in front of me as I'm driving, and I would, instead of get angry, I would Ho'oponopono, and things started changing around me. Even I noticed like my way of driving and the people around me and the courtesy and the things that I was attracting. And so I became willing to start doing this on a big scale. I did it on big levels. I dove deep and I got into those places that were owies and hurts, and I was willing to offer the Ho'oponopono and for myself. And I felt eternally inside the shift and the difference. And then slowly over time, I started to see the difference in my outside world. And it's from that experience that I now find when I am working with people one-on-one, I honestly don't think there's ever a time I am not intuitively guided to offer Ho'oponopono as a tool to that client to use, to make shifts in their growth, to make changes in their ability to let go of these things that are making them feel so heavy, so that we can ascend, we can literally lighten up. That's what we're doing. We're ready to lighten up, right? Let go of this stuff. So through that practice, my sisters and I, Miss Wendy Orsat and Mary Jo Indigo, have created a journal. It is a 21-day Ho'oponopono journal challenge. And the reason we put it as a challenge is because we challenge you to take 21 days out of your life consecutively and be willing to offer Ho'oponopono. Now, we created the journal so that you have something to keep you accountable as you practice this, to make sure, but you don't have to do it in a journal. You don't even have to write anything down. The true challenge part is to just be willing to practice it for 21 days in everything. Anything that comes into your field, you practice forgiveness. And the forgiveness is a prayer that is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and I thank you. Okay? It's that simple. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and I thank you. But we do encourage you, I have found myself, that there's power in writing. There's power in taking the time to put pen to paper and allow this stuff to come out. And so that's why we created the journal as well. One, it keeps you accountable for 21 days, which forms a habit, which makes it easier for you to practice this on a regular basis in your life, okay? Also gives you something to go back and look at in 21 days. How much has changed? What has shifted? Because I've discovered things start shifting so fast and so magical that it is easy to just kind of like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. And so it's so nice to get to look back and see the power you hold in practicing this. Okay, so another reason for the challenge. And there's a place in there for you to write what you want to let go of. And then when we let go and we're getting rid of energy, it's always important that we replace it with something that we want. And so we also give you an opportunity in that space to do just that, to focus on something that you want to embrace versus what you're ready to let go of. That way we can focus on that and use that law of attraction to bring that into our energy field. And then we lock it in with some gratitude. There's a place for you to write down what it is you're grateful for that day as well, just to anchor it in and lock it in, okay? We give you some little tools and tips in there. There's some wonderful foods that help to balance your energy systems. There's some essential oil ideas, wonderful healing crystals. So I encourage you to come on over to earthangelsheavensent.com. You can get your journal there, or you can head over to Amazon, and it is the Light of the Soul Ho'oponopono 21-Day Challenge journal. If you're not up to doing the journal, or that's just not your thing right now, that's okay too. Not a big deal. But I do encourage you to pick up the challenge. Give it a shot. Do it in your way, but do it and see if you experience change in your life. I firmly believe that if we all became willing to just practice this in our life, we are going to watch this world change and shift. It's happening before our eyes, and we are blessed to get to be a part of the change that we wish to see on this planet. And I strongly believe that this tool is a powerful tool in assisting us in being that change. So, be sure to comment, let us know, come on, leave a review, but let us know how this is working in your life. What is your experience with forgiveness and the Ho'oponopono specifically? I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm sending so much love and light to each and every one of you. Namaste.
Ride the tides of forgiveness and soar to celestial heights. Embrace a new journey, a new perspective with our Light of the Soul 21-Day Ho'oponopono Challenge Journal.